Hey there, this is Katherine Cartwright. Welcome. I am sharing some more Halloween today. I have a layered stencil set from Recollections, which is available at Michael's. This is a trick or treat, is what it says on it, stencil that you can layer together to create this fun image. So I'm just going to begin by taping off some of my paper. I'm using some Bristol Smooth cardstock. I've got this on my little grip mat, and I'm adding some tape because the stencil is smaller than the grip mat where it would grip. So that's why I'm having to use some tape here, and also in case I go off the sides. And I probably would do it on all the sides. On this first one I didn't. I don't think I got anything on there. I was lucky. Usually I make a mess, but I would recommend just go ahead and taping down all your sides so your paper is protected. So I'm starting with some carved pumpkin. I'm going to be using Distress ink on all of the this project, and this is the first color I chose. And so you can see it's got these letters on here, and then each of these stencils, I didn't really show it much in the video, but in the bottom left there are numbers in these stencils that Michael's has been putting out, and so you can find which one comes next on there at the bottom. So that's really a helpful trick. So once I get this layered up, the next one, I'm going to do the same thing, taping this down. And I use kind of the oar in the center of this to layer this up. And then I'm going to add my tape. And again, I'm going to go ahead and tape all of my sides down on this one. And then you can just keep building the layered image together. And they've released a bunch of these. I'm using black soot now is the next color, but they've released a ton of these stencils at Michael's. And I went by recently and picked up a couple of Christmas ones. They had a nutcracker and they had a gingerbread house that I'm really excited to use. So be on the lookout for future videos on that. I love to stencil. It's a fun, quick, easy way to make a really kind of wow card. And I'm enjoying seeing those in my local store. Okay, so I've got this black soot finished here, and now I can move on to my next one. You can see it's starting to come together. I've got Trick or Treat, which is really cute, and the oar kind of has a layered look to it. And so I decided to use some paste on this next one. This is number 3. And there's a little witch's hat on the top, and then the oar has a pumpkin around it. I didn't notice it until I got to this section of the stencil, and I thought that was kind of neat. So I'm going to pull out some paste from my stash. I've got some glitter paste, Amethyst. These are both from Diamond Press. So I've got a Cantaloupe, which is kind of an orange. It's not the brightest orange, but I thought it was pretty good with what I had used, and then already with the ink. And then I'm using the Amethyst glitter paste. I definitely wanted a glittery. I'm working very fast here because I don't want this to set up on my stencil. Since I'm using 2 different colors and I'm using a paste, I need to get this in some warm water. And so I will quickly peel this up. Hopefully I got it all. And then I will go rinse this off so it doesn't set up. And that looks really, really neat. So I had to let this dry overnight. And now I'm back to it to finish this 4th and final layer up. And I'm going to add there's some bats, and then there's a little spider web that kind of goes on the T. And so I'm just finding the placement. It's pretty clever. There aren't any marks like to tell you where to go. You just can kind of figure it out because they have some inset pieces like in the C on this. There is a bat, and so you can kind of just see where it lines up, and then you'll see that the spider web goes next to the T. So, and again, I don't know if I mentioned this, but on the back of the paper, the packaging, they have a color image of it as a suggested idea, and that way it kind of helps so you know what you're doing and you can see how it's supposed to look. So I found that to be fairly helpful. I'm back to using black soot here. And I'm also going to use, I think it's Lost Stone or Lost, I can't remember the last one. I'll have to look and see. Lost Shadow. I don't know why I can't remember that. It's a newer color from the Distress line. And it's a really light gray, but it's more of a gray as opposed to a brown gray, which I think pumice has more of the brown in it. So I'm going with the lighter gray on this. I switched over to just a really inexpensive makeup brush that I use for this little details. I did it on the spider web because it was very intricate, and I wanted to make sure I got it all. And so then I'm just going to use it on the little bats that are on here. And I'm going to do a few of the bats, and then I'm going to do a few of them in gray. So I'm just going back, making sure I got it all. And then I need to finish this third bat. So I'm going to keep 3 of my, 2 of the bats and 1 of the spider web. They'll all be the same color, just to kind of have that grouping of 3 in my image. And then I cleaned my brush off. I just used a paper towel that you can see on the right to kind of clean the brush off. These brushes actually really transition well between colors, especially distress. So that's why I enjoy them for little detail work like this. And then I'm just going to finish up this last little bat and see how it turned out. Before I peel it just completely off, I'm just kind of pulling it back and holding it in place in case I need to go back and finish something up. And I'm pretty happy with it. It looks really, really cute. And so I went ahead off camera, I cut a piece of this pattern paper. It has this beautiful orange foil in it. This is also from Recollections. I'll have a video coming soon with this paper pad. It's 12 by 12. I can't remember the name of it, but I'll link it in the description. They had a bunch of Halloween stuff at my store, and they, like I said, mentioned earlier, they already have some Christmas stuff out as well. So a lot of stuff in my local Michael's, which I was very happy to see, because a lot of the craft stores have not been having much, particularly some of the other stores that are still carrying craft products. They have really dwindled. So I was very happy to see this. And I just used, this is from Diamond Press, that little shaped die. It's a pumpkin set that came out recently, so I just used that to cut the trick or treat. And then I've got my patterned paper behind it. I'm going to finish this off with a few little gems. These are from Honeybee Stamps. They're kind of the Halloween color palette. I've had these for a few years. They came out a few years back. And I'm just trying to decide if I want to use the orange or maybe purple. Since I've got some purple, I could even maybe pull in some yellow if I wanted. And I just decided to go with the orange. So I'm going to use my little pokey tool here and add these onto my card to finish it off. And that is going to be it for another Halloween card idea featuring some products from Recollections at Michael's. So I'll put everything in the description. If you have any questions, leave me a message and I'll get back to you. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great day.